So what the last class? Okay.
Yeah, we discussed about the data types.
And from that one, we are uh, list data type, right? Wrong. Okay.
No, like we only entered it with the data types actually.
Sorry, string data type. String data type. Sorry.
Yeah. And yesterday's video I can't find in this canvas.
Okay. Maybe forward. Yeah, I can upload.
Yeah.
Let's continue. So the last session, we we are trying to understanding the string data type, right? So this particular session, I want to talk about the list data type. I want to talk about list data type. Let me go to your specific folder. Go to Python 3, creating the Python 3, and I give the name is list data type. Okay. So when we are talking about the list data type, when we are talking about list data type, something we are holding inside of the square brackets. So inside of the square brackets, we can store some kind of multiple elements. We can store multiple elements. Okay. So let's try for that particular thing. I have a variable a, and I can try. I'm not holding anything. So this kind of elements, this kind of data, we are calling it say empty, right? It was empty. So we can say that it's an empty list. Okay. Or else inside of the square brackets, we can store multiple elements. Here the multiple elements are same data type or else different data types. For example, all are the integer type only. Naveen, class question. Can you please come to online? Okay, fine, no problem. Yeah, yeah, got you, got you. Sure, sure, sure. Yeah. So for example, we can store similar type of elements. Okay. So, or we can store the dissimilar type of elements also. We can store integers, we can store float elements, we can store complex type elements, we can store Boolean type of data, we can store none type of data, we can store no list inside of the list, and we can store the tuple also. So far I'm not explaining about tuple, right? So that I'm not telling anything about tuple in this moment. So if you try to go for print the A, it's a printing A variable. And if I try to go for print the B, it is printing the list of 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I try to go for print the C, which is printing the list of 12, 3, 3.4, 4 plus 5J, something like that. Okay. And I would like to go for finding the data type of these three variables. So simply we can use the type function, right? We can use the type function. So if I use the type of B, it could be returns the listed type of C. Okay. See, it's empty list of 1, 2, 3, and list of these elements. Now, if I go ahead with the finding the data type, it was returns the list, and it second time it was return the list, and third time it is also return the list. The reason is that this is the three. These are the three are the list type elements only. Simply, you have to remember list means square brackets. Okay. Generally, the list it can stores the dissimilar type of elements. Clear. I hope you clear this particular point. Right, Nitin?
Yes, Sanjay. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
in string data type, we seen that in the indexing, and we seen that the slicing, and we seen that the dicing also. These are the three type of things also we already seen, right? Same things it could be applicable for the list as well. So, for example, I do have some elements 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 6. 10 and 23 and 11 and 90 and red and 34 and 56 and 7. Okay. So here how many elements are there? To find the total number of elements, then we can use the function is length function. There are 12 elements are there. So when we have a 12 elements, then we can have the indexing starts with 0 and ends with 11, right? So 0, what is the 0? A of 0 is a 4, right? The corresponding one, it's a minus 12. So A of minus 12 in the sense, so every element, it could have the positive element as well as negative elements. So it was starts with the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? But when it is the negative indexing, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7, minus 8, minus 9, minus 10, minus 11, minus 12. So here we will be getting the result is 4 and 4. Yes or no?
Yep.
And same way, if I go ahead with the positive indexing and negative indexing, A of 1 and here A of minus 11. So this moment, what you will be getting?
Five,
It's a
five.
5 and 5, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So same thing we can try with excuse me. A of 2 and A of minus 10. Then this moment, what we will be getting? 1 and 1. So this is the way in a list also it can be supporting the positive indexing as well as negative indexing. Okay. Now, so slicing means what? We can accessing the a group of a list of elements, right? So if I'm giving the start index is 2 and the stop index is, for example, 7. In this situation, the position of 2 is 1, right? 0, 1, 2, 1, and 6 we can access, 10 we can access, and 23 we can access, 11 we can access, right? This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Till the 6 we can access. So that we are getting the list of 1, 6, 10, 23, and 11. So this is the way we can accessing the sublist from the main list. So string also similar, right? There is no much difference. So if I'm not giving anything, then it can be starts with 0. So that we'll be getting the 4, 5, and 1, and so on. Okay. And if I'm giving the start index, but I'm not mentioning the stop index, this specific situation, it will ends with, it will accessing the till the last elements. Till the last element. This is the way we can accessing the dice. We can accessing the sublist from the main list, continuous list elements from one position to another position. Okay. Now, Now, dicing. So coming to the dicing, so here we do have some kind of step elements. So for example, in between 1 to 9, every third element I want to be accessed. So this moment, the position of 1 is a 5, and the position of 1 plus 3, it's a 3, right? 1 plus 3, 4, right? The position of 4 is what? 23. And 5 plus 4 plus 3 is 7, right? What is the position of 7? It's a 90. Oh, sorry. I wrong. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fourth position. Okay. So 10 is your fourth element. So position of 1, 1 plus 3, 4. The positions of 1 and 1 plus 3, 4. 4 plus 3, 7. So 7, it could be less than the 9, so that only 3 elements we are accessing. I hope you clear this particular part.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So if I'm not, I'm not mention the step index, then it will accessing the 1 to 8 continuous elements. So that way we can use the dicing actually. Okay. Yep. So now we have a list data, and I would like to modify the some elements. For example, I want to replace 23 by the 31. Okay. So now what I can do, what is the position of 23? 5, right? In a of 5, it's a 23, and I want to replace as the 31. Then we can try to print the A. So previously it's a 23, but it was replaced as the 31. That means individual elements we can modify in a list data type. So we can simply say that list is the mutable. Mutable means can be changed. Okay. Till do you have any questions?
No.
Right. Okay. Okay. Now we can do some kind of operations on the list. For example, I would like to go for adding the one element, a band. Okay. So I would like to add the 12 at last. And after that one, we can try to print the A. And after that one, again, I want to add the one more element. So this is the way you can add the some elements at end of your list. Okay, previously we have this is my list, right? So added the 12. After adding the 12, again I am adding 39. So this is the way we can add the elements to your list. So that is the use of the append function. Now pop function. So what we can do, so for example, here we have the 12 and we have the 39. Okay. So if I'm using the pop, so you don't need to provide the any position number. Then what happened, we'll see. So first position, the last position is 39, right? The 39, it can be removed first. And after you remove the 39, so we have, these are the elements we have it, right? If we have, these are the elements if we have it, then again, if I'm using the pop, then last element, it can be removable so that we have the, this is the, our, resultant list. Clear? So this is the way we can use the append method and pop method. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Now we can insert the elements to your list. For example, I have the okay, I have the 4 elements. Now I would like to go for inserting the one element to your list. For that one, we can use the insert method. So we are going to be inserting the wait a minute. So what is the meaning of it? In a position of 2, we are inserting the 100. So first position is 0, second for 0 position is 34, first position is 90. In a second position, we have 22, right? So now what we have it in place of in between the 2, we are adding the 100. We are inserting the 100 in the position of 2, so that the position of 2 it was changing the third position. Third position is changing to the fourth position. So that is the use of the insert method. Okay. Now, with help of the pop method, we are not only removing the last element, we can remove the some positional element also. So for example, in the position of 2, we have 100, right? So I would like to go for remove the what the value in the position 2. So in a position 2, we have the 100 that we are going to be removing it. So now we don't have any 100. Okay. So this is the way we can use the pop without arguments. It can be removing from the right to left. And if I'm giving the some position number, that positional element, it can be remove it. Okay. So here we have a remove method. So with help of the remove method, directly we can remove the element with the with element. If I'm giving the list element, that element it can be remove it. See, 100 is removing it. So the difference between the pop and here remove. In a pop, we are giving the position, but in remove, we are giving the element. That is the difference. For example, if you don't have an element, then what happens? Again, if I try to use the remove, but unfortunately 100 is not available, then it can be raise an error. It's a value error. If and only if element is there, then only it can be remove it. Clear? Yes. For example, I would like to go for finding the what would be the position value of the 100. So if I'm giving the position, if I'm giving the 100 of x, then it was written the position value of the 100. So that is the use of the index method. Okay. And for example, you have the list, and I would like to copy the all the list elements to another variable, then we can use the copy. So in this situation, we are copying the all the A elements and we are storing into the B variable. That is the use of the copy method. So I have the list and it could have the some elements, and maybe the 100 it was repeated the 3 times or 4 times. 100 is repeated the 4 times. I want to find how many times the 100 it has been repeated. Then if I'm giving the count of 100, it can be written the it can be written the 4. Okay, here we have the 100 4 times repeated so that it can be written the count value of that specific element. Any questions? For example, so you have the list something like this. So this entire list, I can reverse it. Reverse in the sense, first element is becomes last element is becomes the first element. So that is the use of the reverse method. Okay. And we have one more method is there. It could be sort method. Sort method in the sense we're arranging the data in ascending order. So same thing, if you want to descending order, again, we can use the sort or sorry, reverse. If I'm giving the reverse, then it will be descending order. Okay. So that is a way you can use the sort and reverse. Any questions? Any questions from these two data types? String and list. Yeah. Clear, right? So for example, I want to list what are the functions are there in list variable. Then we can use the, so here we understood the sort, reverse, remove also I explained, pop also explained, insert also explained, index I explained, but extend I'm not explained, count I explained, copy explained, and clear I'm not explained, append I explained. So let just try with try with clear. So if I'm using the clear, all the elements it can be removed in one shot. That is the use of the clear method. So you're not deleting the entire variable. We are just clearing. You're just deleting the elements inside of the list. Okay. And so you can try with extend. You can try with extend. And moreover, here I can explaining about tuple data type. So coming to the tuple, it's a very simple thing. Something we can store inside of the parenthesis. So what I can do, I can copy this one. I can copy this one. I can change the name is tuple. I can try to be executed because tuple and list approximately same. Yeah. So make it tuple. Tuple means, so what is mean the tuple? Tuple means something we can store inside of the parenthesis. So empty tuple means empty parenthesis. Okay. And we can hold the similar type of elements and dissimilar type of elements also. Inside of the tuple also, we can store the list as well as tuple also. Okay. So here we are getting the tuple as an output. And so same indexing also could be similar to the list only. We are not getting any kind of error. And slicing also could be a similar to the list only. So here also we are not getting it. We are not getting any kind of error. And the slicing also it can be supportable. Okay. Now mutable. What is mean that mutable? Mutable means can be changed, right? But in case of tuple, you will be getting an error. So it's immutable. Tuple is the immutable. This is the difference between the list and tuple. Okay. And if it is immutable, so if we want we try to do any kind of operation, you will be getting an error. So it's not possible append operations, and it's not possible remove elements. Removing is not possible. Okay. And inserting is also not possible. Once if you have set the data, we can't modify it. Okay. Even if you try to be pop it, so even this is also not possible. And even if you try to remove the elements, once if you set the tuple elements, which is also not possible. But indexing can be supported. We can accessing the index elements. Okay. And copy can be supported. We can copy the tuple elements and we are storing, copy is also not possible. Okay, we can't copy the tuple elements and we cannot store into the any other variable. Okay. But count can be supported. So how many times one particular element is repeated, that is possible. And remaining things which is not possible, even reverse sort, those things are not supported. I hope you understood, right? The difference between the tuple and tuple and list. So coming to the tuple and list, we have only one difference. The difference is we cannot modify the tuple data, but list we can modify the list elements. And because of modification is not supported, so we cannot performing the various list functions, and we can performing only the following functions. Only count and index is the remaining things, only count and index. But in case of list, we do have this many functions, so that this all function can be supported. I hope you clear this particular part. So if you couldn't get any kind of doubts regarding about list and tuple and set, practice is important. Okay. So this built-in functions could help you a lot when you want to be do the work in a as much of as simple instead of implementing too much of logic. So you can able to do this particular thing in a very simple manner. We can do it actually. Okay. So that's for today's task actually. I mean, that's for class. And by tomorrow, I would like to talk about the set data type. And if we have the time, then we can talk about the dictionary data type. So by tomorrow, by any cost, I can complete the all the data types. Okay.
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 Okay, Jaypal Garu, Nitin, Madhavi, Satya, Amu. Take care. See you.
Bye. Right.
Yeah, bye.